My best classroom memory was hanging out with my French classmates last year.
That one Halloween-themed soccer practice my team had in the fall where Sarah, Aries, and Zoe dressed up as our soccer coaches.
Racing around the robot that Matthew, Andrew, and I built and scaring other teachers with it.
Oh, that was close.
Probably eating in Coach Strong's room.
Probably Mr. Clean's class and cleaning out his closet.
When Lily and I cleaned out Mr. Clean's closet in physics class.
Just like any time in Mr. Phillips's class, which is kind of odd, but his class was always really fun, and it definitely was one of the best parts of my day.
I was walking down the hallway with Matthew, and we found this trail of what looked like blood. So we followed it for like 5 minutes. We ended up in this freshman biology class where they had made fake blood for some sort of lab. And anyway, I had to go back to homeroom and explain to Mr. McCorkle why I was late.
Monsieur McDonnie's classroom. When we played a game that was similar to The Floor is Lava, and what we would do is we'd go out to the courtroom across from the library, and we'd get on those stone seats, and we would jump from one to another, but we would have to use each other as well as French, so we would have to communicate and interact.
All the times that I got to play Foursquare in Mr. Phillips' room, the amount of times that I thought that he injured himself and he popped right back up, it was pretty impressive.
My favorite, oh my gosh, my favorite cafeteria food is definitely the country fried steak. I don't know what it is about it, but just the fact that the gravy was with it, it was something that I look forward to every single Wednesday of throughout high school.
It's either the mashed potato bowl or walking taco. I remember my sophomore year, I would always sit there and in homeroom Allie would be like, yeah, we're having walking taco today. So I'd always like look forward to lunch the entire day just so I could eat that.
The corn dogs.
The Manhattan sandwich. Nothing else really can compare.
The mashed potato bowl.
It's pasta.
ZZ's applesauce. Since we got kicked out of school, I haven't had many chances to eat it, but I've got 1 cup for emergencies. This is some good sauce.
Probably those pizza crunchers that they had, I think, around Thursdays. Those were, oh my gosh, those are great.
I've never eaten the cafeteria food, so I don't have a favorite.
I pack.
I've been very lucky. I've gotten a great plethora of brilliant teachers.
Mr. Weaver. I had him freshman year for language arts, and he taught me so much about writing, and I just loved just kind of analyzing stories with him. He was really great.
Mr. Weaver, because class always went by super quick and it didn't feel like a chore.
English teacher would be Mrs. Baird. I liked her style of organizing classes.
Mrs. Thornsberry, because these last 4 years she's gone above and beyond to proofread my papers, give me advice, and be there for me.
Mrs. Coulter, because she's one of the most genuine people I've ever met, and I think that she really cares about her students, and I think that that comes through in everything that she tries to do. So she is definitely one of my favorite people that I've ever met.
Definitely Mr. Lewis. He has an unparalleled passion for all of his kids, and he came up with some really fun ways to teach his classes.
Favorite language teacher, I would have to say Monsieur McDonnie. I mean, he isn't at the school anymore, that is true, but I really feel like he deserves to be like in my top teachers list. I loved his unorthodox ways of teaching. I liked the method. It was just very interesting.
Madam Eckel. She has always been there for me, especially when I was applying to college. She's funny, witty, and extremely smart, and I don't think I'd be where I am today without her help.
Favorite psychology teacher would be Mr. Batson, but of course, partially that's due to my bias, since that is one of my main core career choices that I'm going to pursue.
Mrs. Metzger, because she's kind, patient, supportive, and she's really funny.
My mom, but that's probably not the answer that you're looking for.
Mr. Watts, the orchestra teacher, because I'm going into music education, and music is just like a huge part of my life. So I would definitely say he was definitely like my biggest supporter at the school, and It really just meant a lot to me, and he's also just like a really cool guy.
Music teacher Miss C. Oh, I'm gonna miss her, I think, almost the most, since she's been with me for 4 years now. I don't think that you can just call her a teacher. I feel as if she's been with our band program this entire, like, she just got here, kind of, but I feel like she's been here forever. And so hard to explain.
My worst clothing trend was wearing my pants really high in middle school, like this.
Probably all of the cat shirts that I wore during middle school.
When I was in elementary school, I used to let my dog pick out my outfits. I'd put up like 2 pair of pants, and whichever one she like smelled first is what I'd wear, and I'd do that for every part of my outfit.
When I wore a flower crown back in 5th grade.
Whenever I was younger and I did something that my parents didn't like, my parents would purposely pick out outfits that didn't match because I always cared about how I looked. So that was definitely an experience, and I think that those were some of the most embarrassing outfits I'd ever worn. They'd put me in like an orange t-shirt and brown shorts, and I was like, do I really have to go to school like this today?
Cat shirts and headbands.
Through all of middle school, I never wore a single pair of pants. All I would wear was basketball shorts, no matter what the time of year or the weather, or whether it was raining outside. I just couldn't be stopped.
That one day that, I don't know how it happened, but I got milk spilled on me, and my shirt, it ripped up down the side around like this way. But I'm glad it didn't go to extremes, like to the point that I'd have to go to the office to take care of it.
In middle school, I loved wearing these like extremely like ripped up jeans that like didn't even fit me right. But I thought I looked all cool and hipster and like punk and all of these things, and it was so bad.
Those Abercrombie or Aeropostale shirts with the logos across the front, they just never made any of my outfits look good.
What is one phrase that was overused at this school?
I'm sorry, what?
What was...
Wait, we had a test today? I had at least one person in every single class who would ask me that all the time.
Get back to work, and you cannot make jokes during a unit exam. I guess teachers find it funny to say or something, but after the first few times it became obnoxious.
I hear people yelling salad all the time. I don't know what that's about, but I mean, if they're eating healthy, more power to them.
I feel like recently the phrase canceled has been overused.
I don't want to be here.
Probably been like reach higher in the last couple of years. And it's a great phrase, but I swear we heard it like twice a week at the least. Like we heard it so much. It was like, but it's really good. It helped us out a lot, but it was definitely used a lot.
Just bear with us. We'll have this fixed in no time.
I'm gonna have to say suck or salad for this one. The amount of times I've heard that, yeah.
My favorite dance move is Crank That by Soulja Boy.
Pretty much just jumping around.
It's usually just something like back and forth, whatever.
I don't have any go-to dance moves because I'm just a terrible dancer.
I don't dance.
I don't really have a go-to dance move.
Pass.
The lawnmower. Here it is.
It's called working hard and brushing the troubles away.
This one, okay. The sprinkler, yeah.
Finishing my last high school semester online because of the pandemic could have been worse. I adjusted to my online classes pretty well, and I'm very lucky because my family's healthy and we've been together during this time.
I'm just excited for all the stories I'm going to be able to tell.
It's been hard. It was definitely not how I pictured my senior year going. I missed my friends a lot and seeing them all the time, and I'm really upset that I didn't get to have a senior track season.
you know, I was ready to finish my senior year strong, and I finished it, but it's definitely been hard to stay motivated, which is kind of ironic because there's nothing else to do, but yeah, it's been challenging.
Spending my last year of high school during a global pandemic has been a bit stressful, but I have some more time to myself.
Right as the senior year was about to accelerate, the world ground to a halt. I've been taught to appreciate what I have and to be thankful for the things I did get to do before everything closed down.
It's definitely not what I expected. I don't think anybody expected it, of course, but I don't know. It's been kind of rough, but I've learned a lot of things about myself, and it's given me time to prepare for college. However that's going to come up next year. It's given me mentally time to prepare and to slow down before that, and just get ready for the next phase of my life.
It's been a little sad living through a pandemic because we had to miss out on our last 3 months of high school.
I'm kind of doing okay. I'm not brilliant, but I'm not going to say that it's not something we can really control. So instead, I think I've just been occupying myself with whatever I can.
It's been kind of rough, especially with it coming at the end of my senior year. I feel like I've missed out on just so much stuff that I spent kind of all of high school looking for. But I mean, everyone's going through the same thing right now to different degrees, and I just hope when this is all over, we kind of appreciate just life more, and we're all closer.
Toilet paper.
Toilet paper.
Toilet paper.
Toilet paper.
Toilet paper.
I mean, people have like literally surrounded their entire toilet with toilet paper, so I'm gonna have to say that going out and buying like 30 packs is probably a little absurd, but you know, I guess you gotta be prepared.
Definitely hand soap. I don't think people really understand that other people need to use hand soap too to stop the spread, so I'm not sure.
Flour, I think, and that's such an odd answer, but like, I know that like flour has been going out a lot, and I think it's really funny because like it takes my family like months to go through a bag of flour, but there's people like buying like 6 of them at checkout lines, and I'm just like, why? it's flour. It takes forever.
A friend of mine contacted me and said that he was going to be collecting all sorts of bells, like every single type of bell, like any loud sounding bell and any quiet sounding bell, any big one, any small. It was just, there were even some that he sent me like a picture that was really, really nice. It looked like it might have been a collector's item. I love bells, so I kind of going a little off topic there. But yeah, he was basically collecting bells so that he could sound the alarm for Armageddon.
Dogs. The Humane Society only has 6 or 7 pens full of dogs right now. Everyone, it seems, wants to adopt a dog or have a puppy for the lockdown.
The thing that I'll miss most is probably having some of the most genuine people in my life. I've made a lot of good connections and relationships with a lot of the faculty, and I think that I'll really just miss seeing them every single day and having them in my life to kind of help me and guide me through some of the things that occur that I have to deal with.
And I think I'm going to miss a lot of the teachers and the many opportunities that we have been offered. I really love the art program, the French program, and the music program very much. Psychology is also getting really good with Mr. Batson around.
I will miss being around my friends all the time, being a part of the cross country and track teams, and Coach Strong.
The atmosphere of like everyone there is there to support you. It's a very loving community that's at Chillicothe, and it's definitely something that I'll always remember about it, and I'll miss that, and I'll miss the relationships I made with people there.
The people. I just love walking through the hallway and seeing all these people I know and some people I don't know all that well, and just saying hi to them.
The people. I love all of my friends, my teachers, coaches, and mentors.
My friends.
Seeing my French class every day because they're like a second family to me.
I'm going to miss spending time with my friends and getting some school-wide jokes going.
I'll miss all of the students and staff that have made CHS great over the last 4 years.